Greetings, all you Jackson Jennets, and welcome to your daily dose of donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, coming to you with voice cracks because my voice still isn't healed. Bringing you the Power Index, Power Rankings, Donk Nation. It's time. Let's just get it started right into the top movers for this week, which would be San Francisco, Detroit, and New Orleans all move up 6 points in the index. And while Arizona and the Jets drop down 5 points in the index. As you know, we like to rank them from 32 to 1. We have Lasker's and Gingy's top 10. We're going to make that into the power rankings. But let's start at the bottom of the power index. Let's go 32 to 21 pretty quick here. You have the Houston Texans at 32, another loss. There's Washington, that's very uninspired. Right above them, you got Carolina. And this loss means it's time for Sam Darnold to take the field. Let's see what happens there with that. 30, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers. The offense finally shows up and puts up 30 points, and the defense can't slow down the Cincinnati Bengals at all. Hard loss for them. 29, you got the Chicago Bears. Justin Fields puts up another 80 yards rushing in the loss, but that ends his streak of 150 plus yards a game at 2, unfortunately. The Rams drop down a spot to 28. Stafford's back in concussion protocol. They get another loss. It's time to start panicking if you're a Rams fan after that Super Bowl. Vegas at 27. They got a win over Denver. Took overtime, but the job got done. Arizona comes in at 26. Vegas was 27. 26 is Arizona Cardinals. They got blown out because Colt McCoy's magic kind of ran out against San Francisco. Cleveland's down at 25, another loss, but they're 1 week closer to seeing Deshaun Watson. Denver at 24, great defense, but Russ doesn't seem to have the magic he had early in his career in Seattle and just doesn't seem to be able to really get the job done right now. Jacksonville at 23, they were on a bye week. 22, you got New Orleans. The win over the Rams keeps them alive in their division, surprisingly. Maybe Red Rock could get the job done. I know that Jameis Winston's sad that he lost his job due to injury, but hey, stuff happens. 21, you got the Green Bay Packers. They had a big win last week against Dallas, and then just don't seem to show up this week against Tennessee. A team that's high expectations, really not performing. 20 through 11, we have, starting with the Indianapolis Colts, a really close game to Philly, but just can't seem to make the plays to get the wins, which has been their problem all year, no matter who the coach has been. 19, you got Detroit. A big win over the Giants has Detroit trending upwards, as they do have a top 10 offense this year, surprisingly, all things considered. Atlanta, big win over Chicago, keeps them alive in their division as well, just like New Orleans. That's a team that's getting things kind of done, I guess, with Marcus Mariota. The Chargers come in at 17 after a tough loss to Kansas City. The offense seems to be okay, but the defense just can't make enough stops to get the games won. Tampa Bay's in at 16. They were on a bye week. At 15, you have the Washington Commanders, as all Tyler Heineke does is win, 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 baby. Number 14, you have the free-falling New York Jets, who scored a whopping 3 points on offense. And when asked about if the offense let the team down, Zach Wilson says no, showing that he really doesn't seem to get it, doesn't seem to showcase those leadership abilities, and all the things together get him benched, even though he was 5-2 as a starter. He's going to be benched, not going to be playing this week, not even going to be active this week for the Jets. Seattle was on a bye week, so we didn't get to see any more Geno this week. New England moves up to 12. No offense what to speak of. 85-yard punt return at the end of the game. Hey, sometimes all you have to do is enough to win. Coming in at 11, falling out of the top 10, is your New York Giants. I mean, the wheels seem to be falling off this team, especially on offense, when everyone realizes, hey, if we can stop Saquon, Danny Dimes just can't get the job done. He needs to step it up if they want to reclaim their spot in the top 10. Now, starting the top 10, we have the Tennessee Titans. Good showing on Thursday night against Green Bay. I mean, what can you say? Derrick Henry's a monster. At 9, you got the Cincinnati Bengals. You're talking a team that didn't have Joe Mixon for half the game, was without their best weapon in Jamar Chase on offense. They go out and score 37 points on the allegedly good Pittsburgh Steelers defense. That's why the Bengals are moving up. San Francisco moves up into the top 10 at number 8. The offense showed up, and those weapons with Samuel, Kittle, Ayuk, McCaffrey added to it. The defense playing good. That's a team that could be scary, but I'd like to see them do it against some tougher opponents. Number 7, we got Miami. They were on a bye week, not much to say. Number 6, we have the Minnesota Vikings. Boy, oh boy, they should just throw away the tape of that Dallas game. 40-3. They got just absolutely run out of town and back to the drawing board there. At number 5, we got Baltimore. I mean, not much offense this week, but they were able to shut down the Baker Mayfield-led Carolina Panthers in that 13-3 win. Number 4, you got the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, this is a team, the offense scores 30 points and the defense gets just enough stops to win a football game. Good recipe. It's been successful for a few years. Still working today. Number 3, we have the Dallas Cowboys. They come in here because they have the Chiefs right below them have the best offense in the league. But out of these top 3 teams, the Chiefs had 21 ranked defense. These top 3 teams are top 10 in both categories. Dallas, top scoring defense, a top 10 offense. And looks like Pollard might be the better running back out of Zeke, but the thing is, you keep Pollard fresh and let Zeke take all the heavy carries. Working well there for Dallas. Number 2, you got the Buffalo Bills. The snow couldn't really slow them down this week. That even though they were delayed, they had to go to Detroit for a home game. Still show up and beat Cleveland, putting up 31 points. Hard to slow down that Buffalo team when they're on. And number 1, just like they always seem to be, is Philly. I know it wasn't a pretty week. They're starting to drop in offensive points and defensive points down the top 10 list. They're now 4 and 7 respectively in those categories. But good teams win those close games. That game against Indy looked like it could get out of hand. They just kept it close, and then got the win. So that finishes our Power Index top 10. Remember it because we're going right into Gingy's and Lasker's top 10 to give you the power rankings. That's from 10 to 1, Tennessee, Cincinnati, San Francisco, Miami, Minnesota, Baltimore, Kansas City, Dallas, Buffalo, Philadelphia. Good top 10. Good to see. Let's go straight over to Gingy's top 10. Some differences a lot in all the rankings you're going to see this week. Gingy starts out the Niners at 10, New York Giants at 9, Baltimore at 8, Tennessee at 7, and Buffalo all the way down at 6. Above them, he has Miami at 5, Dallas at 4, Minnesota staying at 3. Kind of funny to see that all the power rankings, both Laskers and Gingy, even though Dallas whooped Minnesota, kept Minnesota above Dallas. Philly at 2 and Kansas City at 1. Hard to argue there. The Chiefs have been the team trending up. Laskers has a little different at the bottom. New England at 10, the Giants at 9, Dallas at 8, Tennessee at 7, Baltimore at 5, Baltimore at 6, Buffalo stays in the top 5, Miami up at 4, Kansas City at 3, Minnesota at 2, and Philly at number 1. So those are all the top 10s. We bring them together. The teams that just missed was New England came in at, I guess, what would be 12, as they only had one ranking vote. Cincinnati comes in at 11 with only one ranking vote. Then New York and San Francisco were tied for the 10-9 spot, with San Francisco getting the tiebreaker because they have the higher ranking. All those teams only received 2 votes. Then the rest of the teams are unanimous top 10 teams. You have Tennessee coming in at number 8 in the Donk Nation Power rankings. Baltimore in at number 7. Miami in at number 6. Dallas breaking into the number 5. Buffalo falling back to the 4 spot. Minnesota dropping down to the 2 spot. Kansas City the 3 spot, Kansas City coming into the 2 spot. And where they've been, it seems, all year, the Philadelphia Eagles once again on top of your power rankings. Those are our power rankings. That is the Power Index. Leave us a comment about how you think our rankings are, who should be higher, who should be lower, who's performing good, who you think the biggest movers are on your power rankings. Drop us a top 10 so we can make a community top 10 and add that into the cumulative Donk Nation Power rankings. But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this content. I hope you tuned into the Bugcast, as Bugga had a little more to say than normal. I really hope that you're going to catch us this weekend for the Steelers talk, as there's a lot of fun things to talk about when the team loses. It's always easier to be critical when you lose than when you win, so I'm sure there's going to be some good talking points. But Donk Nation, Steeler Nation, I am the Viking Donkey. That's Viking_Donkey on Twitch and Twitter. Your daily dose of Donkey with Ginger is the YouTube channel. Leave me a like, a comment, a follow, subscribe. Say if there's any new content you want. Say if there's any content you don't like, and maybe think we should start replacing it with something else. But hey, Steelers fans, there's still a lot of the season to go. There's still a lot of development to watch. So that means you got to wave them if you got them. Here we go.